Hey folks, good morning. You ever get that feeling? You ever get that feeling? Yes. Just an average guy, man. Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. You ever get that feeling? You ever get that feeling everywhere you go, someone is watching you? Woo! Somebody's watching me. We got to get rid of that. I have no problem. Somebody's watching me everywhere I go. You ever get that feeling? Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning. Thursday morning, meaning it's going to be time for Carla's Corner at 8:30. That's our phone number. That is our email address and all the ways you can follow us on social media. So we got that there for you. So text me. Let me know what you think. How about this? At 8 a.m. in the morning, let's play a drinking game, okay? Every time you hear a raindrop, take a drink. Now that I've just encouraged our audience to get drunk by 8:15, I know it's raining. But realistically, you're tired of hearing it's raining. But I do want to say this. Please, the amount of rain that we're having, the ground is so saturated and soft. Those trees that are leaning up in the mountains and so on and so forth that look like they could let go at any time may. Okay, and I mean even big roots, just big trees. All right? So your car, your property, your house, roads, you're driving, be careful going around. I'm serious as can be. We've got it all week. It is very dangerous out there in so many areas because we don't know when a tree's going to let go, power lines are going to come down, and so forth. So just really stressing, be careful out there in this weather this week. Okay, folks, what do we do first? Now, here's my opinion, okay? So let's go to the, hold on just a minute, Lonnie. I get my pictures up here in a minute there, and we'll have I've got to, now the Mueller investigation, Robert Mueller, the media is all concerned that that's getting ready to come next week. And I don't know if my hats are hate crimes. I really don't. I could actually be charged with 4 counts of hate crime this morning with the hats, the mega hats. Okay, this one doesn't say mega, it says Keep America Great 2020. This one's a misdemeanor, okay? These are felony hate crimes. Yes, I understand. I promise I'm not being silly. Let's go through a couple things first. Number 4. Now, I have been concerned that this was going to happen, or it's conspiracy. Should we call it Conspiracy Thursday? I don't know. I'm not saying that. Just be careful. Get off my back already. But I'm always cautious with the government. Okay? Really, seriously. Do you think the government behind closed doors would create a story to divert attention away from 4 other stories? Just saying. I don't know. It seems like sometimes just when needed. Now, I'm just saying this. I'm just saying. I like to, I just like to think out of the box a little bit. It seems like just in time, okay? The government always finds, and the media, the government, all of the deep state always find a story just in time to move some other things clear off the shelf. Cleared away for a whole new stack of things against the president. So you get the old stack, okay, we've run these, clear those off, bring us in the new stuff. Okay, bring us in the new stuff. The new obstruction from the Southern District. Bring that in, because what we're going to do is the Mueller report is going to be a bust. This is the deep state talking and the media. The Mueller report is going to be a bust. So let's start failing New York Times. Let's start enemy of the people. Let's start the new investigations that are necessary in Washington, D.C. with the Democrats. Let's find the new ones, the new obstruction charges. I'm just saying. So here we go. The escalation of violent rhetoric in the Trump era. Everything goes back to Trump's fault, okay? Number 5, arrested Coast Guard officer planned mass terrorist attack on a scale of rarely seen. Now, all right, I'm not going to come out and tell you that this is not true. That's not what I'm here to do this morning. I'm not going to come out to tell you that this did not happen. I know that's redundant, but I want to cover all the bases because I don't want to sound like, you know, that, you know, I want to give time for this. All right? I want to give time for this. Google searches. Here's my opinion. This is the perfect setup. I predict, and I wrote this on social media, I predict you're very close. I mean very close. And I'm not for sure that you won't have some Republicans jump on board is what makes me very nervous. Okay? Now, throughout all of the things that have taken place, you know, we have talked about mental health. Okay? So when you talk about your Second Amendment, let's check off that the media and the government and politicians out there have been talking about mental health. Okay? Determining when your ass is too crazy to own a gun. All right? Period. So that you check off mental health. Now, what they want to do, all right, is they want to go through all your social media accounts. All of your social media accounts. I know that was, again, redundant, but they do. You're gonna have Republicans jump on board with Democrats. And this just pushes it to where they are going to come out and we caught the guy. We found the guy. Now, they found this guy. The government found this guy. They found him. And it's going to be sold through the media. They found this guy just in time. He had a hit list of Democrat politicians, all right? Democrat legislators, and he had a hit list of top media personnel, and this white supremacist he had searched, impeached Donald Trump illegally. I mean, there's things that he searched. He's got this stash of guns. I'm telling you right now, this here will be sold. They found him. You need to wake up and hear what I just said. They found him. They will find you. You think I'm sounding an alarm, all right, that's radical to the right, that the media is going to come out and go, the far right, they talk about the far right talking heads. But I'm just saying, keep in mind, they found him. Maybe it's a good thing. Keep in mind his internet searches. Now, me, for one, I search everything. I mean, I search every possible thing. I read everything I can from all kinds of websites, and I just do that. I mean, my internet search on this computer right here, all right, is pretty detailed on from conservative to progressive to radical. I read everything. But I'm not breaking any laws. I have the right to sit here in my freedom in America and just search things and read. These hats, all jokes aside, I'm telling you right now, if they go through my social media account, if they go through, look and see these hats I own, all jokes aside, you think I'm joking around, and they look at my internet searches, I will not be eligible for a firearm in the new rules that are coming down. So they're going to find out if you're mentally capable, number one, and they're going to make the determination. Two, they're going to go through all your social media accounts. And three, they're going to go through all your search engines on your computer before they determine if you can have a gun, or how many guns you can have. Because I don't know that they're going to allow multiple guns. This is another situation here. The reason they take these pictures and push these out. Now, I'm not taking up for this guy. I want to be careful here. That's not what I'm here to do this morning. I'm not taking up. I just am one that believes, based on what has happened in the past in some of these stories, that we just be patient a day or two and let this develop. Because right now, text me if I'm wrong, 706-889-9700. I went to the Capitol yesterday in Atlanta. I didn't get home till later in the evening. By the time I got home, it was raining, so it was bedtime. And I have not had an opportunity to read everything. I started this morning very early, about 4 a.m. reading and checking out the news cycle. But you tell me, right now, I understand right now they have this guy on a drug charge, okay? He's being held on a drug charge. And let me get, am I correct here? What is his name from the Washington Post? I am dreaming of a way to kill almost every last person on earth, a self-proclaimed white nationalist planning a mass terrorist attack. The government says. Please, I'm not here to defend this guy. But I have to tell you, when the last part of this headline from the Washington Post is the government says, okay? U.S. Coast Guard lieutenant and self-identified white nationalist was arrested after federal investigators uncovered a cache of weapons and ammunition in his Maryland home that authorities say he stockpiled to launch a widespread domestic terrorist attack targeting politicians and journalists. Now, I'm going to say this so many times that when anybody reviews this, they're going to know that I'm saying it's not, I don't believe this. I just want to have some patience for this to develop. Christopher Paul Hassan, right, called for focused violence to establish a white homeland and said, I am dreaming of a way to kill almost every last person on earth, according to court records filed in district court in Maryland. Though court documents don't detail a specific planned date for the attack, the government said he has been amassing supplies and weapons since at least 2017, developed a spreadsheet of targets, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and searched the internet using phrases such as best place in D.C. to see Congress people and our Supreme Court justice protected, okay? He's 49 years old of Silver Spring, is expected to appear before a judge detention hearing he's on right now. Hassan was arrested Friday and charged with illegal possessing weapons and drugs, but the government said those charges are the proverbial tip of the iceberg. Now, all right, illegal weapons and drugs. Now, so I don't know if he's a member of the Coast Guard. I don't know what's illegal about the weapons and owning them and what drugs he was in possession. If this is true, all right, and I got to say it that way, if this is true, I'm not going to be coming back in a week like Smollett and saying, oh, I've got to change my story. I'm just waiting this one out a minute, because I think it's interesting that, first of all, when I say if this is true, it's my concern that these kind of things could start happening. And it is being people that have maybe, or bubble off, as we used to say, are being encouraged not by the President of the United States, but they're being encouraged by the deep state media and the deep state and the Democrats. Okay? Now, see, the Democrats, they don't live, care, and interested in small-town America. Now, Silver Springs, Maryland is not small-town America, but at the same time, they don't. They don't know what's really, well, they do know what's really happening, but they don't know how frustrated some people are. So if you take this example, number 5, that's on MSNBC at 3:01 a.m. Pacific time, meaning right there. Then number 6, they immediately, Joe and Minka and the group immediately go to, you see that Coast Guard officers charged in U.S. terror attack plot. They immediately tie it to the pipe bomb guy down there in Florida. And remember the van? Okay? They tie this to the van immediately. The media does. And then what's the next thing they tie it to this morning? Right here, I got the timestamp, so number 7. Pittsburgh synagogue shooting suspect threatens Jewish group, pushed migrant caravan conspiracies. Okay? Migrant caravan is not a conspiracy. It's not at all. But you see the connection that they keep trying to make and blame it on our President of the United States. Go back to one more time. All right, number 4. Here's Joe and Little Willie. The escalation of violent rhetoric in the Trump era. Okay? Go to number 8. MSNBC puts up there Roger Stone and his, is that an AR-15? I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble. That's what they put up this morning. And then you go to the hate crimes in America and the escalating hate in America in the Trump era. All right? All from last night. The thing that gets me is it's interesting. Well, it's upsetting, not interesting, of how gleeful they are to see if they can find these things that they could try to blame on our President of the United States. So, right there, let's go to number 9. Okay. Now, look at Linden, Alabama. Alabama, down there where Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions is from. Alabama. Okay. Then this is all on MSNBC this morning. Number 10. All right. Klan needs to ride again. Time for the Ku Klux Klan to night ride again. Democrats in the Republican Party and Democrats are plotting to raise taxes in Alabama. They do not understand how to eliminate expenses when money is needed in other areas. The socialist, communist, ideological sounds good to the ignorant, the uneducated, and the simple-minded people. All right? Klan needs to ride again. That's a clip out of that is the editor of a newspaper there in Linden, Alabama. And then they bring in number 11, their token, all right, number 11 there. They bring in their token black Republican, former chair of the Republican Party, the establishment, Michael Steele, the escalation of violent rhetoric under Trump era. You see that underneath there. All right. So, and let me get one more here before we go on this right here. I got some, I might have some CNN clips of how they're on a roll this morning. There it is, number 24. Okay, 2:04 a.m. this morning Pacific time, probably about 5 a.m. Eastern time there. Weapons and ammo seized from Assange's home. Suspect relied on manifesto of Norwegian terrorist attacker Andrew Breivik. Okay, you can see the picture there of all his weapons and ammo. He's ready to go there. And then the next one, 25, Coast Guard lieutenant arrested on terror charges, 49 years old, allegedly had political and media hit list. Okay, so that being said, I want to give a couple days on this, and I'm concerned about the media and the media. It pays for them. It's really paying off for the Democrats and the media to divide the country. They're the ones that actually, they're the ones that run the hate in this country. They absolutely do. Period. They run it as hard as they can. They want to divide, all right? They want to play on weaknesses in the country. There are people out there that have weaknesses. 24/7, they never come off. So if you're this guy and let's just say everything the government is telling us here is true. Let's just say every single thing the government telling us in this situation is true, okay? They're the people that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, they're the people that these people know, okay? They run down the President of the United States 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They never say a kind word. None of this media ever says one kind word about the President of the United States. It's not what the President is saying, it's what the media is saying. When you have now you don't have to watch it, but when you have 4, 5, and 6 hours at a time where the media is discussing how to impeach the president, what to do next to the president. Can the president be brought up on crimes? Can he be indicted? When it's over and over and over, they push the hate. Before I get to my first break here of the morning, I want to ask, I do believe, okay, your internet searches, your social media, you will go through a complete scrutiny of everything digital before you're able to buy a gun. I think this one right here, watch what happens now, okay? We're going to get back to the sensible gun legislation. Watch. What did this push off the front page? Not totally. What do we hear nothing about anymore? Nothing. It's all been pushed back to Trump. Nothing at all do we hear. Let's go to number 30. All right. When is the last time, number 30, you heard anything about Ralph Northam? Anything. Nothing about the Virginia governor. Well, he's okay now. He's okay. All right. Now, number 28. It seems like it was just 2 weeks ago Ralph was found to be in blackface with a member of the KKK or somebody dressing up because they had aspirations to be future member of the KKK in his medical yearbook. Seems like it's just 2 weeks ago. Seems like it was just 2 weeks ago when this guy was on a radio station saying, we'll deliver the baby, keep it comfortable, and let the mother decide if we resuscitate. Just seems like it was 2 weeks ago. That's gone. It's totally gone. Number 29, just throw it out there. What happened to Lord Fairfax? Right? Is his name Justin Fairfax? And the reason I call him Lord Fairfax is he is the descendant, okay? He is the descendant of a slave that took his third grandfather was a slave that took his master, the Fairfax name at that time, when it was you would usually take your owner. It's just the bottom line. Let's call it what it is. It was slavery, and you were owned by someone at this time. You took their surname, and it was Fairfax. So I jokingly say, no laughing matter, but Lord Fairfax there. Where is this guy and the 2 women that accuse him of sexual assault and rape? Where's that? Okay? No. It's gone. All right? They're more interested if William Barr is going to turn over to if William Barr is going to turn over the Mueller report to the public. And what gets me is all these networks have legal consultants. And you and I out here understand that Mueller is to turn his report into the Department of Justice, and is in the Department of Justice, which is, what's his name now? Robert Barr. But anyhow, he's not required to do no more than to send a summary. And he's not required to send anything where the President of the United States is concerned to Congress. So that's what they're mostly interested in. Couple things when we come back after Carla's Corner that I want to talk about. I want to talk about number 31. There's a reason I want to bring this up. Organizing for America, okay? Organizing for America. And number 32, the National Democrat Redistricting Committee. Because out of all the Democrat candidates that you hear about, there's somebody they never talk about. They don't talk about an individual, and I want to bring that up after this. And also, before we go to break, one more thing. What if? We're going to talk about this at 9 o'clock. I got it here somewhere. I got it here somewhere. Number 13. All right, don't you feel safe? Jesse Smollett charged with felony for allegedly making up a hate crime attack. He made it up. Mega hats, lynching with a rope, and also some kind of chemicals doused on him. But anyhow, it's all made up. He has turned himself in. He's in custody right now. Okay, what if this was Roseanne Barr? Roseanne Barr did a couple Twitter rants overnight one night, and say, hey, I had a couple pills and a drink. What the hell? It's over. Roseanne Barr got fired immediately. Was that ABC? Is that ABC she was on? Immediately got fired. Fox is still reviewing things. I don't think they've made it. What if this was Roseanne Barr? I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a little break here. When we return, we have so many stories to talk about. But first, up next, Carla's Corner. Don't miss it. And we'll be back at 9 with some of these other stories we want to look at this morning. Take us to break, Lonnie.